Social Security has shifted again. $2,100 payments are making headlines. If Social Security quietly updated the rules this year, and that meant the difference between getting about $2,100 a month or receiving hundreds of dollars less than you deserve, would you want to know? Of course you would. But here is the issue. Most people watching right now have no idea that a major change has already taken place. And some of you today may already be getting less than what you may be owed because of a rule change that Social Security hardly mentioned. I have spent years following federal benefit policy, and I have to tell you, what is happening in 2026 is truly different. This is not a rumor. This is not clickbait. What we are seeing right now with Social Security payments is something that has not happened in decades. So before you scroll away, before you assume you already know it all, stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I am about to explain could affect how much money reaches your bank account starting next month. Here is what I want you to imagine for a moment. You worked your whole life, 40, maybe 50 years of paying into a system, every single paycheck, money taken out before you even saw it. You followed the rules, you waited, and now you are in retirement, or you are on disability, or you are getting close to that stage and you are counting on Social Security to be there, and it should be. That money belongs to you. But here is the part that honestly frustrates me. The system is complicated on purpose. The rules keep changing, and there are millions of Americans right now, good, hard-working people, who are leaving real money behind simply because nobody explained what changed. That is why this video exists, because in 2026, something historic is happening with Social Security payments. And if you know how to navigate it, you could see your monthly payment move into the $100 range or even higher. But if you are not paying attention, you could miss it completely. Let us get into it. So what is actually happening? First, let us talk about COLA, the cost of living adjustment. Every year, Social Security benefits are adjusted using inflation data. You have heard about that before. But here is what most people do not realize. COLA does not affect every recipient equally. The size of your increase depends a lot on what your starting benefit was, how many years you have been receiving benefits, and in some cases, when you first filed. In 2026, benefit amounts vary widely, and many Americans may fall into a higher payment range than they expected. But here is the part nobody is talking about loudly enough. Social Security has made structural changes to how certain benefits are calculated. And when you combine recent COLA increases with changes to how delayed retirement credits are recognized, plus updates to how spousal and survivor benefits are handled, it means many people may be sitting on a higher entitlement than they are currently receiving. Let me say that again. You may be owed more than you are getting right now, and the government is not calling to tell you that. Okay, this is where it gets really important, so I need you to pay close attention. There is something inside Social Security called an underpayment. It is exactly what it sounds like, a situation where the SSA made an error, or where new rules apply retroactively, and they owe you money. Now, the Social Security Administration has publicly acknowledged that it processes billions of dollars in underpayment corrections every year. Most people assume this happens automatically, and sometimes it does, but not always. Here is the part that stays hidden. If there was a calculation error in your benefit, maybe because of how your earnings record was processed, or because of how your spousal benefit was applied, SSA may have flagged it internally. But if you do not follow up, some of those corrections can sit in a queue for months, or they simply do not get prioritized. This is especially true if you claimed benefits early. If you have had several periods of work and disability, if you are receiving a spousal or survivor benefit, if you went through a divorce before retirement, if you had earnings from a government pension that affected your Social Security through something called the Windfall Elimination Provision. And that provision was recently changed by law. Wait, did I say changed by law? Yes. And that right there is one of the biggest stories of 2026 that most people are only just beginning to understand. Here is the real reason this video is titled the way it is. The Social Security Fairness Act, which was passed and signed into law, removed two provisions that had been lowering benefits for millions of Americans for decades. The Windfall Elimination Provision and the government pension offset are gone. If you do not know what those are, here is the plain English version. For years, if you worked in a job that did not pay into Social Security, like certain state and local government jobs, some teachers, firefighters, police officers, and federal workers hired before 1984, your Social Security benefit was reduced, sometimes by hundreds of dollars a month, even if you also had years of private sector work where you did pay in. And if you were a spouse or widow of someone in that situation, your spousal or survivor benefit was also reduced. That law has now been repealed, and the Social Security Administration is now in the process of recalculating, and in many cases, paying people retroactively for what they were due. We are talking about millions of Americans who may now be entitled to higher monthly payments. Some beneficiaries are reporting increases of $400, $500, even $800 a month. Combined with base benefits and COLA, that is how some headlines are reaching that $2,100 and above range. But here is the catch, and this is the part not enough people are talking about. SSA is processing these changes manually. They are overloaded, and if you are someone who is affected by WEP or GO and you have not heard from Social Security yet, you may need to take action yourself. Let us talk about the mistakes people are making right now, because I do not want you to be one of them. Mistake number 1. Assuming the change is automatic and you do not have to do anything. For some people, SSA will recalculate automatically, but the agency has been clear that processing times are long and errors happen. If you were affected by WEP or GO, you should be checking your My Social Security account online. And if you have not seen any change after several months, you need to contact them directly. Mistake number 2. Not knowing whether you were affected at all. A lot of people have no idea they were subject to WEP or GO in the first place. They just know their payment feels low, but they assume that is simply how it works. If you ever worked for a state or local government, a school district, a public university, or any employer where your pension did not withhold Social Security taxes, you need to look into this right now. Mistake number 3. Getting bad information from unofficial sources. And I have to be honest here. There is a lot of misinformation floating around online about this. People are seeing wild numbers thrown out. Promises that everyone is going to get $2,100 automatically on some specific date. That is not accurate. Your payment amount depends on your individual earnings record, your filing age, and your circumstances. Nobody should be giving you a flat number without knowing your situation. What is accurate is that a significant number of Americans are now receiving higher payments, and more will as SSA works through the backlog. Let me give you a few real-world examples so this clicks. Take a retired teacher in Ohio. She worked 25 years in the public school system. No Social Security was withheld from her pension, but she also worked part-time jobs in summers throughout her career, building Social Security credits. Under the old rules, her Social Security check was significantly reduced because of WEP. She was getting around $600 a month from Social Security on top of her pension. After the repeal and recalculation, her Social Security benefit is now closer to $1,100 per month. That is real money. That is life-changing for someone on a fixed income. Or consider a widow in Florida. Her husband was a city employee. When he passed, she was entitled to his Social Security survivor benefit, but GO reduced it because of her government pension. She was barely seeing $300 from survivor benefits. Now, with GO eliminated, she is receiving the full survivor benefit she was always entitled to, over $900 a month. These are not hypothetical examples. These stories are playing out across the country right now. Now I need to stop and give you a serious warning because where there is money and confusion, there are scammers. In the wake of this law change, there has been a noticeable rise in Social Security-related scam calls, texts, and even official-looking mail. People are getting calls claiming to be from Social Security, saying they need to verify your information to process your new payment. People are getting texts with links to fake SSA websites. Here is what you need to know. Treat unsolicited calls with caution. Verify anything through official Social Security channels. They will not pressure you, threaten you, or ask for your banking details in an unexpected call. If you get a suspicious call, hang up. If you are unsure, contact the real SSA number listed on the official website. Your My Social Security account at ssa.gov is the safest place to track any changes to your benefit. If there are legitimate updates to your payment, they will appear there. Do not fall for anyone promising to speed up your payment increase for a fee. No one can do that. It does not exist. The only people processing your claim are SSA employees. Okay? You have heard the facts. You understand what is happening. Now let me tell you exactly what steps to take. Step 1. Check your My Social Security account. If you do not have one, create it at ssa.gov. This is your single most important tool. You can see your full earnings history, your current benefit amount, and any notices SSA has sent you. Step 2. Review your earnings record carefully. SSA has been known to have mistakes in earnings records, especially for people who worked multiple jobs, had name changes, or have periods of self-employment. If your record is missing earnings, your benefit could be lower than it should be. You can request a correction. Step 3. Determine whether you were subject to WEP or GO. If you are not sure, look at your benefit award letter or call SSA and ask directly, was my benefit ever reduced due to the Windfall Elimination Provision or government pension offset? If the answer is yes, your recalculation may already be in process, or you may need to follow up. Step 4. Talk to a benefits counselor. Many states have free SHIP offices or other assistance programs that provide counseling on Social Security and Medicare. These are not salespeople. They are trained volunteers and professionals who will sit down with you for free and help you understand your full entitlement. Use them. Step 5. Do not wait. This is the one I cannot stress enough. People who are proactive are getting their adjustments handled faster. People who assume SSA will sort everything out are sitting in a queue that could take a year or longer to clear. Here is what I want you to walk away with today. Social Security is going through a historic shift in 2026. The repeal of WEP and GO alone is the biggest change to Social Security benefits in a generation. Millions of people may be seeing their payments increase significantly, with many moving into that $2,100 range and above. But none of this is automatic for everyone. You have to stay informed. You have to stay engaged. You have to check your account, know your history, and advocate for yourself. The system was complicated before. It is still complicated now. But the rules have shifted, and this time they shifted in your favor. Do not let bureaucratic delays or misinformation cause you to leave money on the table that is rightfully yours. You paid into this system your entire working life. Every payroll deduction, every year that was not optional, that was required. And what you are owed in return is not a favor from the government. It is a debt they owe to you. So stay informed, stay organized, and do not be afraid to push for what is yours. If you found this helpful, and I genuinely hope you did, please share this video with someone you know who is on Social Security, approaching retirement, or anyone who may have worked in a government job at some point in their life. Because there are people right now who have no idea they may be owed more, and a simple conversation could improve their financial situation completely. Drop a comment below if you have questions. Tell me your situation. Tell me what state you are in. I read every comment and I will do my best to point you in the right direction. And subscribe because these rules are not done changing. More updates are coming in 2026. More recalculations, more adjustments, and I will be here every time something important happens that affects your benefits. Stay alert, because these rules keep changing.